everybody. We're doing something different tonight, but we are here. Y'all hear our theme song? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is the special edition of the Village Speaks Talk Show. Please like and share the video. We still got our same music though. Hey. And I got my voice. I do this here. You don't even know my name. I'm new this year. Yeah, but hey. I be the right team and my crew is here. Cause everybody can't go. A bunch of no call, no shows. To the Village Speak Show. This the business free show. All right. This the Village Speak Show. That's it. The Village Speak Talk Show. Welcome to the Village Speak Show. We're 30 seconds in. We'd like you to go ahead and like and share the video, please. Give some education message to the children. But you know to raise a child, let it take a village. So he came to Bless Boulevard to make a living. At the Village Speak Show. Yes. Welcome to the Village Speak Show. Hey, bro. What's up? All right, you guys. Y'all, I'm being production and the thing tonight. So good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. I almost said Thursday. Happy Monday. I am Chandra Stringer, the host of the Village Speaks Talk Show. We are still right now on Bless Boulevard, but we are doing this virtual because our special guest is all the way in the ATL. Somebody say ATL.
ATL.
That part. So I have to say thank you for your patience because we've had to reschedule a few times. But Coach Joy, that's what I'm gonna call you. Keep the name right, Coach Joy. Welcome to the Village Speaks Talk Show. We are so excited to have you here with us this evening. I know we got a lot to chat about. So can you please tell the audience who you are, and then we're gonna dive into this new journal that I left on my desk. But we're gonna talk about that journal. Go ahead, please.
All right. I am Joy Rizal, and I am a life and career coach. And what I love to do is to help people realize possibilities they've never realized before, right? So a lot of times people, even myself, we get stuck into the boxes of what we think is possible, what we've been told is possible, all of our shortcomings. And I see my job as helping my clients leave with more confidence, be more productive, and just be happier and more satisfied with themselves. So I'm super excited to join. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much. And you said something so important. We're living in a world where so much is going on every single day, seemingly every minute, right? And really, we really have to make a decision to decide that we're going to take our life and do something with it in spite of obstacles, in spite of hardship, in spite of situations. And so tonight, before we dive into this journal, I want to ask you, like, what was your aha moment that life coaching and career coaching, because they're totally two different ends of the spectrum. Sometimes they can coincide, but for the most part, they're two different levels of coaching. What made you decide to want to do that?
So I could tell you a really long story, but I will say this. Many years ago, I attended this Oprah conference, right? And she talked about, or one of the people in the conference talked about alignment, right? Yes. Alignment with what you want to do and what you do and what you say. But they also talked about threads of life. And so one of the threads that has kind of been constant through my life, no matter what role I was in, has been like really helping people with their stuff. Like if I was in a job and it's like, oh, you need help with training. Oh, I'll train you. Oh, wait, you want to do this? How are you going to do it? And so that was to me, it was a constant thread that I've seen. I was honestly teaching Sunday school because our teacher would be absent. And I'd be like, I want to teach the Sunday school class. And I was in probably middle school teaching the other middle schoolers. And so it was just a deep desire and something that I didn't know existed until I got into corporate. And so when I got in corporate and saw there were coaches for executives, but not coaches for the hourly employees, the first level professionals, beginning managers, I was like, that is a need that I want to fill. And it's very, very fulfilling for me.
Wow, awesome. And I caught that word thread. And it's so important because I am learning at a later age in life that we really have to hone in on our gifting. What drives our boat? And you said you started really as a child, and then always finding that area that when you can help someone. And so it's in that space that not only you have to navigate your own challenges in life, but you get joy out of helping someone else. And that is truly what matters most. And so you went on this journey of being certified as a life and career coach. How has it been for you? And what has been some of those like I matter wow factors for you?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I like coaching. I wish I could do even more of it. So if anyone wants to do it, call me. Because when I tell you the biggest surprise and the biggest aha was that in every coaching meeting, I take something away from it personally. And it's like when your client is reflecting something on you and you're like, yeah, that was for them, but it really was for me. Like that's one of the biggest ahas I've gotten from it. I think for me, and you kind of talked about this, you say career and life is, two kind of separate things, and it is. But when you realize that there's so many people unhappy with their career and it's spilling over into their life, right? Or they have so much going on in life, it's spilling over into their career. And like, so vice versa, to me, is really tightly together. It's very rare that I talk to someone and we only talk about career. Because the question is like, okay, you want to move, but why haven't you moved? And that goes back to mindset, right? And that goes back to personal, and it's impacting you everywhere. So I think some of my biggest wins were like when my clients email me and they're like, oh, I got another job and I'm making tens of thousands of dollars more. I'm like, what?
Really?
Really? You got that from me? Like, huh? So those are like the ones that's very quantifiable, right? But there's also others, people who started their own businesses, people who kind of see themselves differently, have gone back to school and done things that they said they were going to do for years and just never did. So I love all of it.
Wow. And you said something a few minutes ago about the mindset. And sometimes it is hard, to get to the place that, and I tell people every coach needs a coach, right? Everybody needs someone they can be accountable to, or they can just help them to navigate. Because I think for the most part, we have the answers within inside of us, but it's just like playing football. It doesn't matter how skilled you are in football. Hello, but we got to get off on time because there's games tonight. It doesn't matter how skilled you are in football. Reality is that they need a coach. Yeah. They need someone that's going to pull those skill sets out of them. And so have there ever a time where you had a client that you sort of it took longer for them to come around or to accept some of the information that you guys were having a dialogue about?
I think so. I think the cool thing about coaching is the premise is that the client is the expert, right? I'm not an expert on your life.
Say so.
Right? So the client is the expert. But I will say there are plenty of times where people have deep-rooted beliefs that have either been there since childhood or something's happened. Maybe they've made a mistake and had this big shock where they're afraid to do anything further. And and they'll kind of accept it. And it's through questioning, like very careful, considerate, kind questioning that challenges their thoughts, where they'll have ahas. You can have the aha. I'm telling you, first, second meeting, you'll probably have an aha that you just like, oh crap, I didn't realize that. Here's the thing. The aha is the easy part. I think they readily accept the aha, right? I'll have clients who are like, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? What you doing? And I'm like, well, I got a kid, I got a parent I'm taking care of, I got a job, and then I got a side hustle. I'm like, you're doing a lot, right? And they don't process it as, oh, wait, I'm doing so much. I'm actually very talented. It's just how do I reprioritize? So we'll have ahas usually the first or second meeting. And then I'm like, oh gosh, can I ever beat this moment?
Wow.
It's the work, right? So they'll have the aha. It's the building of the habit and the continuing to work on it. That's the hard part.
Yes. Wow. And those kinds of things, like you said, you can measure the income increase, but the internal growth is like, can you really put a price on it?
No.
Can you really put a price on it? And I think that's the joy. And you can feel the passion and the energy from you as you even talk about your different client settings, which leads me into this phenomenal journal. What made Coach Joy write this journal?
Oh my gosh. So it's a little personal, right? I think I put this in the ad I created for this, is that I really have struggled throughout the years with appreciating myself and self-confidence. Yes. And so part of what I do is to help other people with that as well. And so I have it with me. Yeah, and it has a naughty word, but this naughty word I think is in the Bible. Okay, so you guys are gonna shame me. I won't say it to be respectful, but I'm doing good, right? And it's a 30-day journal to self-appreciation, and it's just going from my work with my clients, my work on myself. It's like, how do you constantly remind yourself that you are doing good? You are doing okay. Even if you just got through the day, I promise you in that day, you accomplished something. If you slept all day, you accomplished rest. Okay. So, and sometimes we need that, right? Because sometimes we're like, I can't sleep, I can't do this. No, so just resetting the mind to say, okay, what did I accomplish? What skills did I show today? And as that builds over a month, you have this record of all of the stuff that you've accomplished, all the skills you don't know how many times I've had clients. I'll say, what are your strengths? They're like, I don't know. And I say, what are some challenges you have? What are some opportunities, weaknesses? I don't like using the word weaknesses, but you guys get it.
I know, yes.
But people be like, but even just looking in this book and saying, okay, today, was I brave? What did I do that was creative, right? And being able to mark those down and acknowledge them. In coaching, I actually will walk through the words with my clients and be like, but were you decisive today? Great. Good job.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Wow. The journal is just, it's amazing. I'm still trying to process. I'm like, this is so stupid creative. I mean, it really is. I'm a journaler. And so for me to actually look forward to, sometimes I'm journaling to get out, negative emotions, but to be able to look forward to say, yeah, I did something today, and to be able to pinpoint it and appreciate it. And I think sometimes because the world have their own standards of what we should do, what we shouldn't do, I think we are some of the most hardest on ourselves because we don't take time and use that journal and look at what we did accomplish. So with that, how hard was that for you to actually put that into action? Or was it because you already was using some format of it? Because it's still different. It's a very unique journal.
Yeah, no, it actually wasn't hard because it's been something I wanted to do for years. And I've had different versions of this I would do. And maybe I'll put those in journals as well, that I just did personally, right? So it was actually a very cathartic kind of process that I went through. Like, what do I use with my clients? How can I put it in just a quick format that others can use? So it was very cathartic. Like, okay, you know what? I actually need to start thinking about this more too.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I love the words, and you circle them. I'm not going to tell y'all everything you got. You got to get the journal, okay?
You got to get the journal. I'm going to get the link in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just for women, right? It's for anybody because it is so powerful. And what I love about it, even if you had a bad day, it helps you to resurface. It helps you to recenter your thought process that, listen, it may not have gone all the way that I wanted to go, but at least I was able to accomplish something. So I'm grateful. So what are some of your other initiatives you have coming up now that you got this out of your thought process?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about a few things to do. I think with the new year, I'll have a new journal, and that's going to
Yes.
be focused on like how you normally do a vision board, but we're going
Yeah.
to be doing a journal on how you're going to plan your year, right? So how can you plan your year, your vision? That's going to be coming next. Some other things in the works, but they're not quite buttoned up yet. So
Okay.
I'm gonna get back with you, and I'm gonna come back to the show and talk about it.
Yes, yes. When you do, you can come back. Now you do a lot, and I love your honest posts. Sometimes too much. I'm like, oh, this
What
great.
what do I what do I say?
Nothing bad. No, 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 no. You just tell me when you cook something or when you go out with your
Oh
son.
yeah.
And you got to give shout outs to your family. You got to give shout outs to your family.
Yeah, and there's some of them here, so yeah.
Yes. And so how do you keep a balance? I mean,
Mm.
you have a son, you have a career, because coaching can be a little demanding.
Yes, it
So
absolutely can be demanding.
mhm,
And for me, it's a lot of pressure because I care, right? And so
yes,
because I care, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure my goal is that every client I interact and every interaction is meaningful, right? And
yes,
so for me, it's a lot of pressure when I get on that Zoom call.
yes.
Balance is, you know what? I've learned to kind of flow with my energy. And so
Mhm.
sometimes I'll have this bout of energy. Like the other night, I was like, I told my sister Talisha, I'm like, I can't rest. I'm just gonna build this class. So
Yes.
I built out 2 sessions of my, oh, that's something I have going on. I have a professional career Kickstarter for teens.
Yes.
And I have public
Mm.
speaking for preteens and teens
Yes.
as well. But yeah, so I was like, you know what? My brain is restless. I'm just gonna work. So balance is, it's a thing. It happens. It
Mhm.
happens, but I kind of just go at my natural flow of energy.
Right. And just knowing that sometimes it's okay to be lazy, but don't be too lazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you take
I
a
don't
break.
even want to say lazy. Just take time for yourself. My daughter called it grace, and just give yourself grace. And
Oh
so,
yeah, I feel like lazy is totally an overused word, and so I
yes,
find that especially in coaching, like I was telling you, the person is doing this and this, and they're like, "I'm lazy." Like that's the number one term I will get. It's like I'm
mhm.
lazy, and I'm like, you have like a 20-hour day. You're
Right.
not lazy, you're tired. So if on Sunday you have a 4-hour break, that ma'am, that is called tired. That is not called lazy.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. I love the paraphrasing and the rephrasing because it
Hmm.
matters. Words do matter. I don't know who came up with the phrase, where they got it from, but I do not agree. Sticks and stones shall break my bones and words will never harm me. I'm thinking like, no, I disagree with that.
You know how many people have trauma from them words? The
Mhm.
words from childhood, the words from
Yes,
college, the
yes.
words from, like that's all I hear about, right? In
Mhm.
coaching, it's like, so why do you keep saying this to that's what the other thing I said. Why do you keep describing yourself that way? And it'll
Yes.
go all the way back, and it's some words someone has said.
Wow. 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 So are you accepting new clients?
Absolutely. You can email me at joy@active-potential.com.
Okay. Make sure you put that in the chat as well, the
Mhm.
comment section, so everybody can see that because it'll be back on there, and then I'll post it on some other links. And so let's get back to the journal. So in the 30 days at the end, have you
Mhm.
had any testimonials of anybody finishing it and what was their response to it?
No, I haven't. I should really follow up with people who told me they purchased it. So
Mhm.
Amazon does not tell me who purchased it in case somebody says, "Well, I said I was and I didn't." It's okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I
But
don't
they
know.
can now. They can now.
But you, yes, you can tell me. But that's a good thing. I do need to reach out to some of the people I know who have the journal
Yes.
to see what their experience was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I started 4 days late, so mine will be after like October the 4th or something like that, or maybe yeah, October the 3rd or the 4th. So I'll
Okay.
definitely put mine up. But I'm telling you, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
Thank you.
And so, with that being said, have you found that since and I don't like I don't like keep talking about the pandemic, but it seems like we're
Okay.
getting back to it because we have a lot of people coming up with COVID cases. Did you see a spike in your services since that time?
You know what? This is the funny part. So I became a coach during the pandemic, like
Oh,
at the
wow.
beginning of it, right? And I
Mhm.
will say that coaching is very difficult because what will happen is there are a ton of people who are coaches, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
mhm.
And so it is like, it's actually the most difficult part of my job is getting clients. I love when I have
Mhm.
them, but that's been the
Mhm.
most challenging part because there are
Mhm.
so many people who will say, like, oh, I'll coach you into this new business. And but they're not actual coaches. And so that's been the most
Ooh!
challenging part.
Oh my gosh. And so I would say this, having been in business for a long time, and people call me their business coach, and I'm thinking, we don't have a formal agreement. But anyway, that's a different conversation. Yeah, sad to say that people use the term very loosely.
Hmm.
But I also will say that the passion in which you do your work, stick to that, because when the dust settles, because it's like anything, it's a fad, right? It's a new
Hmm.
wave. But when it's all said and done, real people want real impact.
Yeah.
And so the fluff eventually will go away because they won't return calls. They will not give them some substance. You know,
Yeah.
and so those people that want a abracadabra kind of a result, they will
Hmm.
follow them. But people that want real impact, they will find a real coach.
Yeah.
And so, which leads me to my other question that I always ask all of our guests: how
Mhm.
can the village help you? And so, if you're watching this now, definitely go to her pages, like and share this video. There is a difference between people doing something because they think a dollar is behind it and
Mhm.
doing something they're actually been called to do. And I, from I wouldn't call myself a coach, but but I definitely can see the benefit. I definitely can see the passion. I definitely can see the need
Yeah.
to really making a difference in the earth. I really can see that.
Yeah, I think for me, it would be great if you guys, just go like me on Facebook, on Instagram. I'll put the links in the chat.
Yes.
If you do have any questions about coaching, feel free to contact me. I mean, like I said, I coach on life, I coach on career because I feel like all of it's kind of intertwined.
Mhm.
Right? You can't really separate your life from your career too much. So definitely give me a call. I do free consultations. And the great thing about my consultations is you almost just get a little bit of free coaching because we always go into what the issue is.
Mm.
And then just another thing I would like to let people know is that I did recently get my certification in what's called the Strong Career Interest, which
Okay.
is
Oh.
yeah, so it's a Myers-Briggs ran assessment that helps you figure out like what do you want to do as a career. Now you may think, oh, only like little kids need this, or teenagers, or people who are new to career. No, there are so many people who have gotten in a career that they do not enjoy, either
Yeah.
by default, out of convenience, or someone guided them, hey, let's do what's practical. Kind of like when my mom told me I should be a nurse, knowing I don't like body fluids or anything like that, right? So, but some people go along with it. So this really helps you break down and think about the possibilities as far as your
Mhm.
career and getting a career that you would actually enjoy and love. And then I also was certified recently in the Everything Disc, which is a great assessment when it comes to relationships.
Yes.
So work relationships, even personal, right? You can figure out
Mhm.
how to work better with people. So if you're interested in any of those kind of self-improvement type things, definitely give me a call.
Yes, and I want to revisit the courses that you're having for teens. I think that's so important. You got public speaking as well as careers because you know I think our kids sometimes get a bad rap, because they're thinking, oh, these kids, the only thing they want to do is play a game, and they don't speak life over the young adults. And
Hmm.
so what they do, they end up living up to what they've been told or living up to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And so I am excited to hear and help support where I can your initiatives for young teens, because it's so vitally important. And whether they enter the college scene or a vocational, whatever it is, they need to learn how to do public speaking, because when you're doing your proposals, you got to be able to know what you're saying, and then to be able to do the career coaching. So that is phenomenal. Can you talk about what platforms they'll be on?
Yeah, so these classes I run through Outschool because it manages everything for me. But it's so funny. I was at first kind of nervous about teaching kids, but it is so much fun. So the public speaking class, we go through the basics of public speaking and we just practice week after week after week. It's a weekly class. You can come in, drop out, whatever you need to do with that. So that is so fun. And then the career class I just started. And what we do is we use that STRONG that I was just telling you about, the career interest assessment. And so we looked at like the themes of what they are interested in. And then we were able to link those themes to career descriptions in ONET, which is like the federal list of all jobs ever in the world almost. And so now next week, so then we did like resumes, then we did LinkedIn, and then we're doing interviews. So the next 2 weeks, tomorrow and next week, we're doing mock interviews. And it's been the kids are so much fun.
Yes. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Are there any last? Our time went by so fast. It's like,
I know.
Are there any last questions or anything you would like for the audience to know? We definitely going to like and share your pages, share your content, purchase the journals if you have not purchased them already, and anything else you would like to leave us with today.
Okay, I would like you to leave with, if you ever doubted yourself, if you ever felt like you weren't enough, if you ever just felt like you had the world on your shoulders, that I'm going to suggest 2 things for you. Reflect on how far you've come and everything that it took to get you where you are, and know that you still have all of that to fall back on, right? You still have all of that to move you forward. And then the second piece of advice I give everybody: get the right people around you, whether it's a coach, whether it's a friend, whether it's a mentor, somebody in your community, because you would be surprised how often the people around you will lift you up when you can't lift yourself up. And that's going to happen. Every day you're not going to be able to do that. And so I want you to first learn to appreciate yourself, right? Learn to appreciate yourself and understand that you are doing good and you have the things you need. And if you don't, make sure you have the right people around you that's going to make sure that you have what you need.
Wow, wow, wow. Coach Joy, thank you so much. I feel like I get to keep talking, because I absolutely love it. Did you put your contact information in the chat? That's really important. We want to make sure that we get the link to purchase your journal. You got some things going on with teens. And I do know that you also champion charity work around ALS. Is that something coming up this month?
Yes, it's coming up. Thank you for mentioning that. It's coming up on September 23rd. I will share the links because I'm putting it in the chat, but I don't know if it's going to your chat. So I will share the links for everything in the video as soon as we kind of close up.
Yeah, I am seeing them in the comments section on my end. Yes. Great. Okay. Well, thank you again for everything. It has been awesome. This one, it went by faster than if you would have been right here in the studio. But I'm glad that we recorded it so we can go back and look at it and listen, journal, write notes. And I can tell you this, if nothing else, that journal is helping me. And you're talking about someone that likes journaling. So it is really like, wow, this is a different level of journaling. So it's like the little child in a candy store for me.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you so much for having me.
Okay, thank you. All right, audience, thank you for tuning in. And we know it was a special edition, something out of the ordinary from our Thursday 7:30 p.m. show, but definitely know that this will be live. So please make sure you like and share it, and then you can catch us on next Thursday back in our regular time, 7:30 p.m. in the studio with a special guest. You got to watch my page, know what it is. Be blessed.
Bye.